In this video, we're going to have a look at extending credit for your customers. So Butter has a pretty comprehensive credit system for your customers, and we'll take a look at how that works. So it all starts with your customer types. So we're going to go ahead and head over to settings and to customer types here. And here you have the ability to set credit on any one of these customers. So let's say, for example, if you're a micro business and you do have adult use customers that you're dealing with, and you also have a number of B2B customers that you deal with, maybe you'll want to set credit on these particular three here. So heading over to configure here, we'll just like pull down cultivator, for example. Now if I scroll down here to where it says max credit allowed, you'll see that that is checked. So anytime that the max credit allowed is checked, then you'll be able to apply credit to the customers that you want to have credit. And if it's not checked, then it's going to be more like that would be for like adult use. You probably wouldn't check that because not many people are going to extend credit for retail customers. So now once we have the credit set there, let's go ahead and take a look at some of our customers that have that type set. So here we have an imaginary Spark SF customer here, and it's set to retailer. And as you can see, we have a max credit allowed field of 10,000 in this spot here. So at this point right now, this particular customer would have the ability to have $10,000 set on their credit. And if you can see right here, also we have some other controls here. We can see credit balance. So already this particular customer in this store has used $734 of their $10,000 limit at this point. So that's pretty much how the basic credit works. If you fill this out here, then they're going to have credit available to them. Also, you notice that we have a terms field here, and this basically determines once the invoice goes into credit terms, how many days until it's going to say it's overdue. So whatever your standard terms are, you can set them there. So the kind of cool thing about terms that I'll just talk about really quickly, I'll segue over to that, is that if you head over into settings and into order settings here, here you actually have the terms, and this is like your master terms here. So if you want all of your orders to be, be paid up in 14 days, then you would set that there. Now, every time you set credit for a customer, their terms are automatically going to be set to 14 days. And every time they place an order, the terms on the order is going to be set to 14 days, since everything's going to be defaulted that way. And the reason why we expose it that many times is that we give you the option to change those terms at any point. So while the global is 14 here, let's say for a specific customer, you want to extend their terms to 21 days or 30 days, or another customer, you want to give them 7 days, whatever. Maybe they place super large orders that you can't have credit out that long on. You might be able to do that. And all the way down to the individual order. So if you do have that massive order that comes in that you need to extend terms, but you can't extend your normal terms, then you can cut the terms down on that particular order as well. So it's pretty flexible that way. So that's basically going to be the terms and how you set credit. Again, we'll just go over the customer right here, the details, and this is right here on the customer. This is where you're going to set their individual customer credit. So once there, we can actually place an order for a customer, and then we can kind of see what goes on here. Now, really quickly, what I'll do is I'll just kind of place an order, and I'll cheat the system a little bit to show you how to do that. Basically, what you're going to do here is you'll place an order, say, for like an 1/8 of animal crackers, right? And once you got that placed here, I don't know if barcoding is turned on in the system. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and assign me as a driver and me as a preparer. Okay, it looks like barcoding is turned off. Okay, so now it's filled here. So what I can actually do is I'll just place a little hack up here, and we'll actually go into the drivers. This is like the driver, what the driver would see. So the driver is going to en route the order on their phone, and then come down here. And then for the amount collected, here, instead of collecting the amount, which is $60.50 for this order, I'm just going to go ahead and complete it right here. And since they do have credit, it's going to add that credit to the order. Okay, cool. So there's that. I'm just going to hack this back really quick here, and we'll get back to the other side. Okay, cool. So now this order it's in a pending payment state here. So once your order goes into a state where it has been delivered, but nothing has been paid on it, then the status of that order goes to pending payment. And that's so you'll know the orders that you have that are, requiring payment there. Back on the order screen here, you can see now that this particular order is in a pending payment state, as it says right here. And that's pretty much so you can see those kinds of things. Now, there's other things to discuss here. So when we're going back to the customer here, what we can see here is that the customer now has this credit balance of 794. So that's been added. But what we can also do here is we can click on the history to get a better view of this. So first of all, we can see the 794.50 in their balance out of the $10,000 limit. They have an 8% utilization so far out of their credit. And then we can kind of see what's been going on here. This is a historical view of all of their orders here. We can see that on February 21st here, $533 is still outstanding. It was due on March 7th and was not picked up. So that's an outstanding invoice that needs to be taken care of. And then we have this new invoice here that just came in, and that has 14 days left. So you can see that right there. So this is a quick view of what's going on with when you actually are extending credit, and how you can look at each individual customer to see their credit amounts. Now there is reports we can run on credit too, so we can see a list of all of your customers that have credit and stuff, but this is individually when I'm actually looking at this specific customer, I can go and see what's going on. Now what happens here is you'll notice that there is a column here called schedule pickup. And here is when we can actually schedule a driver. If you have drivers that you send out in order to get cash pickups, aside from actually placing orders, because some, it depends on how you run your business, whether or not you pick up cash on the next time you make a delivery, or whether or not you just send drivers out to pick up cash alone to bring it back. I know it's done both ways. Butter gives the ability to do both. So we'll take a look at both of those particular scenarios. So today we've got 2 outstanding invoices on this customer. And we're going to go ahead and take care of this overdue invoice right here. Actually, you know what? I think for demonstration purposes, we're going to go ahead and take care of the new invoice here, because there's some nuances to overdues that I'd like to show you. So we'll go ahead and we'll just click this here. We'll schedule pickup. Now, this is depending on whether or not you have the rights to do this. In the back here in the role manager, you have the ability to get scheduled pickups and to even see these histories and that sort of stuff. So there's if you haven't checked out the video on the roles and permissions, go ahead and do that, because it'll show you how to set all this stuff up. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do that there. Oops. And now this is actually to view the pending payment. I made a mistake there. What I did was I checked the box here, and what I need to do is come down to the bottom here. And let me just do this again. I'll check the box here, and then I'll come down to the bottom here, and I need to schedule the pickup. And the reason why we've done that and not just go over here is that you might want to schedule multiple orders in the same pickup, and that's when you check. Now, if you made the mistake like I did the first time, where you check the box and then you actually click this, this is just to view the actual order. All I did was hit the back button here, and then I just refreshed the page again, and then I can check it again, and the button will appear down here. So today I'm not going to choose both of the orders. I'm just going to choose one, and I'm going to say schedule pickup. Now what this is going to do is it's going to spawn a whole brand new order here in which I can assign, and I'll assign it to myself here. And I can go ahead and just place that order. It does have a note in here that tells me what invoice I'm picking up and how much I am picking up there, as well as the outstanding balance on this that I need to pick up here. I'll go ahead and place that, and now we're ready to go. Now I'll do my little cheat up here, and we'll go over to the driver screen. And here's the pickup order for the driver. So on their phone, they're going to hit en route. So they can't have a prepare set. Hold on a second. So let me go back to order. And we're just going to set that preparer right there. Preparers always need to be set just to say who actually got that order out the door. And that's the reason why the preparers always need to be set there. So go back to it. Now we'll go ahead and hit en route, and we're off to the races. Okay, so now this is going to go here. Now this is what happens when a customer shows up, or a driver shows up to a customer, and they are expecting to collect a certain amount. Right? At this point right now, if an invoice pickup has been done, you're just going over there to pick up the money. And when you go over there to pick up the money, you put how much you collected. Okay, I collected $60.50. I'll go ahead and complete the delivery. Right? And there we go. And so now once I've done that, I'll head back over to the order screen here. And we can see this has now been delivered. And if I head back over to the customer again, I can just click the customer's name on the order right here to just quickly head on over to the customer there. And when I do, I can head back to the customer's history, and we can see that order for $60.50 has now had a scheduled pickup, and it says Pete received $60.50. And so now you, as the, if you were back in, say, in counting the person that dealt with the money that comes back, you can select here and say either, that wasn't actually 60.50 cents, it was something else, or I approve or deny it here. So we're going to go ahead and approve this. right here. Are you sure you want to approve this invoice for $60.50? Yes, I am. And there we go. And so now the outstanding balance has gone to 0 and that has been paid out. And so that's a quick example of how we can place an order, extend credit, and then schedule a pickup to go get that money at a secondary time. Now let's take a look at a different scenario. We still have order S103 here, which is outstanding, has been outstanding for some time. What we're going to do here on this particular one is we're going to actually place a new order. And before that, I want you guys to notice this icon right here. Customer has a past due balance. When you see this icon right here, you'll also see it on the customer list screen here. So you can quickly see if your customers have past due balances, and then you can drill down into the details, into the history, and you can find out what's causing that particular alert to be fired off there. So that was just a little segue on that particular one. I wanted to remember to show you guys the past due icon. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and start a new order. So now the customer has called, they're placing a new order at the time, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and just select something here, place the order really quickly. We're going to go ahead and set me as a driver and a preparer really quickly. Okay, we're pretty much ready to go and deliver this particular order here. And I'll do my little hack here. And here we are. We're now on the driver's side, and I en route the order. So now as the driver, I come through, and when I'm ready to pick up the order here, so I've got my big $3.30 order here that I'm delivering and I'm picking up, and the person goes, oh, hey, driver, by the way, I've got this really overdue invoice that I need to give you. Here's a bunch of money, and just hands the driver a bunch of money. So what's really happening there? So what we're seeing that happens a lot in the field is that drivers, when they aren't prepared for this and their software isn't prepared for this, they end up accepting the income. Maybe they get an invoice with it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We've seen it both ways, quite honestly. And when the driver comes back to accounting, they hand them a bunch of money. The accounting is expecting, what, $3.30 for this order, and yet the person comes back and says, hey, I've got this $533 past due balance. Here's $536.30. And so that's what happens. So what Butter has the ability to do is this invoice pickup right here on the screen. So the driver at that point, if they're getting surprised by money from the client, they'll just choose pickup invoice or invoice pickup. Now from here, they can select this down here and they can see which ones are actually due. And you can actually see on this screen here, we have 533 due on this one. And then all the way back in 2018, it looks like we have 99 cents due, right? And so if the person did come back and handed you an arbitrary amount of money, then you can, pretty much turn your phone around at this point and say, okay, well, here are the two invoices that are overdue for you. Which one of these would you like to pay, or would you like to pay all of them? Finding that out, then he says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pay both of those, $533.99. Okay, great. So I'll check $533 here. I'm going to go ahead and add that invoice, right? And then I'm going to say done. And then I'm going to come back here to the invoice pickup again. I'm going to choose it here. I'll choose the 99-cent one, and I'll add that invoice as well. So now $599 has been added to the whole pickup at that point. Now, this is on the pickup. This particular screen here does not show the pickup here in the net total, but what we do have is we have the two places here in which the outstandings have been received. Those have now been added as driver notes into the order automatically, and then we can go ahead and complete the delivery. Now, for the $3.30, we'll just say that $3.30 was completed for this order as well, and there you go. So now, that's what would be done on the driver. Let's go ahead back to the order side, and let's take a look at what happened here. So now, as we can see, we have here two notes that have been received by the system that these outstanding balances have been received and the amounts that have been received. The grand total is now amount collected 537 out of 330, and the two invoices are shown here to line it all up. So now when your accounting comes in and they take a look at all of this money and they go back and look at the order, they have a record and a paper trail of what's been going on and where this stuff is coming from. So that's pretty much the credit system and how it works, the invoice pickup system and everything, how it works there. The last thing that I wanted to show you is pretty much just the customer credit report here. And pretty much I can just run this and it's pretty much here for all. And right here in this demo store, really quickly, we can see that there's only two customers here that have credit outstanding, and that's Spark and Blue Bear. And there they are right there. So this would be a quick way just to see a 10,000-foot view of the customers that you have and what their credit amounts are really quickly. And then you can go into each customer and start dealing with their stuff automatically there. So if you did click drill on here, it will tell you the summation of what orders are creating that particular balance right there. So that's kind of cool. as well there, including ones that have been paid. So that's the credit system. Let us know if you have any feedback on that, and thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.